Today we're talking about the newest Disney Plus film, the one and only Ivan. So let's get started. Hey everybody, my name is Justin. I love to watch movies. If you guys love to watch movies too, you guys are in the right spot. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up and coming videos. A gorilla named Ivan tries to piece together his past with the help of an elephant named Stella as they hatch a plan to escape from captivity. This is inspired by a true story of a gorilla that lived inside a mall for 27 years in Tacoma, Washington. A little bit about me. I live very, very close to Tacoma, Washington, and I've actually been to the mall where this gorilla lived. It doesn't really even feel like a mall, and it's not as good looking as the big top mall in this movie. It's the BNI, and the BNI is it's an interesting place, and the more I think about it, it really saddens me that this gorilla spent 27 years inside this place, because it's not that big of a place. He never went outside for 27 years. So this movie doesn't take place in Tacoma, Washington, and the mall is different, and there's other animals in there as well. It's inspired by that story. This was a pretty good film. Going into it, already knowing the story that it's based off of, I was expecting some emotional moments throughout, and I did get that. At the end, they showed you a picture of Ivan and gave you some like backstory on it, and it was very sad to read it. But what they did with the movie and him realizing that the animals are being mistreated and he wants freedom for him and some other animals, it's emotional and definitely does deliver on those moments, because Ivan lives in this mall and he performs for crowds. There's an elephant named Stella, there's some dogs, birds, rabbits, there's a wide variety of different animals, and they all perform. We do get another little elephant named Ruby in the movie, and Bryan Cranston's character runs the big top mall circus, and he has all these animals perform. Ivan catches one day Ruby being mistreated, not like being beat or anything, but he sees her being, she's worn out and she doesn't want to perform anymore, and he makes her continue working and practicing for their upcoming shows. So Ivan gets upset with that and wants everybody to be free. So he tries to hatch a plan to escape from captivity. Everything about the movie feels really quick. This movie is only an hour and 33 minutes long, and I was actually surprised when I discovered the runtime for the film, because there's so much they could do with this story and have like a huge weight to those emotional moments. But the moments in the beginning of they're enjoying what they're doing, and has this relationship with this dog Bob, who is voiced by Danny DeVito, and Ivan is voiced by Sam Rockwell, and they have a really good relationship. And then we get introduction to Ruby and her being mistreated, and him starting to think, I want freedom for me and the animals. I think that transition from the performing to, wanting freedom to trying to leave, I think all of it happens really quick. And I do feel the emotional moments, but I didn't feel like there was a big weight to them. Like they were on like a surface level. They weren't truly emotional, and the story is emotional. I think that there was easily could have been some moments where they were just really deep and meaningful, but what we got was, it seemed like everything just had like a really quick transition to the next scene, especially towards the middle half and end of the movie, when Ivan painted a picture and captured the attention of the public that he wants to be free, and then there's newscasts and different things like that. It all happened really quick towards the end of the movie, like they were just trying to get to the end, that satisfying moment of Ivan and all the other animals. And the end is very satisfying, but I think everything leading up to it had a really quick pace, and I felt like certain scenes were just missing and also weren't that drastic and could have been way more emotional. Now the voice acting in here is really good. We have Sam Rockwell as Ivan. I really liked him, really calm performance. Really curious about things as well. When he was talking about his past, the tone of his voice dropped because his past was a highlight of his life. He was with his sister and his family, and then he was brought to this zoo, and so the tone of his voice changes when he discusses more personal things. We also have Danny DeVito as Bob. Danny DeVito is great. I think he does fine for the role. We also have Angelina Jolie very briefly in the beginning of the movie. Brooklyn Prince from the Florida Project is in here. I like her as Ruby. The animation for the animals is good as well. It's all very believable. At times I just feel like it undermines the emotional moments within the movie. They're there, and I do feel like the real moments at the end are easily the most emotional and most satisfying. But everything else, you know, it was an enjoyable movie. I think Bryan Cranston's good in his role. The animation's good. I just feel like some of the more emotional moments just didn't have that weight. And I was expecting, you know, a really deep emotional movie where I would just sit there and bawl my eyes out. I never went and saw Ivan in the mall, but I've been to the mall, and just being there, and it's truly sad to think about him just being there for 27 years. It's crazy. I'm going to go ahead and give the one and only Ivan a C+. Thank you guys for checking my review for the one and only Ivan. Check it out on Disney Plus when it hits. Let me know what you thought about the film, and stay tuned for more up and coming content. My name is Just Watch Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.